Down the hall to the ramp. May God be with you. Next!
Terry Crews once said he was just visiting the Training Day set when a friend invited him to watch. The director spotted him, asked him to flip pigeons shirtless in a shot, and told him to come back as an extra. When he did, it turned out to be the night they shot the iconic climax, and Crews was told to stare down Denzel. In Less Than Zero, Brad Pitt appears briefly as a partygoer, credited as preppy guy at fight. You can spot him in the corner, wearing sunglasses and leaning against a wall. He also appears in Hunk, casually sipping a cold drink in the background. In Enter the Dragon, before Jackie Chan was famous, he played a small role and got hit in the eye by Bruce Lee's stick by accident. They kept filming, but after the scene, Bruce ran over to check if Jackie was okay. Jackie later said he pretended to be hurt longer just to spend more time with Bruce. Arnold Schwarzenegger made his early film appearances as an extra in The Long Goodbye. He played a silent henchman, likely for the best, since his accent was so thick at the time that giving him lines would have been a challenge. David Bowie appears for just 2 seconds in the 1969 British film The Virgin Soldiers, but it still counts. He plays a drunken soldier being escorted out behind 2 men talking at a bar. Before he was in Good Will Hunting, Matt Damon made his film debut in the 1988 film Mystic Pizza. He pops up during a dinner scene and even gets a single line.
Mom, do you want my green stuff?
He also appeared as an extra in Field of Dreams the following year, alongside childhood friend Ben Affleck, as part of a crowd of 3,000 people.
Just to go to Fenway, we were extras in Field of Dreams. There were probably 3,000 extras in a big crowd scene.
In the British classic Sunday Bloody Sunday, one of the world's greatest actors ever, Daniel Day-Lewis had a non-speaking role. You can see Lewis's acting chops taking root as he looks quite method for the role. Nicolas Cage made his film debut in Fast Times at Ridgemont High under his real name, Nicholas Coppola. He later changed it to avoid nepotism claims, being the nephew of Francis Ford Coppola and cousin to Sofia Coppola. Before she was an Oscar winner, Octavia Spencer made a quick cameo in 2002's Spider-Man as the check-in girl at the wrestling match. She appears in just one scene, but delivers one of the film's most memorable lines.
Down the hall to the ramp. May God be with you.
Before she was a star, Renee Zellweger landed a small role in Dazed and Confused while studying in Austin and working as a cocktail waitress. She played Nessie White, a background character with no lines, briefly seen walking past Matthew McConaughey's Wooderson outside the Emporium.
Come back, more, come back.
Before he was throwing punches as Rocky Balboa, Stallone was an uncredited subway mugger in Woody Allen's 1971 film Bananas. As the story goes, Allen would send Stallone back to the casting agency, believing he did not look tough enough to play the role, until Stallone made him change his mind. Heaven's Gate may be infamous for its massive flop, but its cast was packed with talent, including a young Willem Dafoe in the background. Dafoe later revealed he had worked on the film for months, but had been fired after director Michael Cimino had caught him laughing too loudly on set. In The Verdict, one of the greatest legal dramas ever made, Paul Newman gives a powerhouse performance as a down-and-out lawyer. But look closely during the final courtroom scene, and you'll spot 2 future stars, Bruce Willis and Tobin Bell, sitting quietly as extras in the 3rd row.
Good morning, my neighbors! Yes! Fuck you too!
Most people remember Coming to America for Eddie Murphy's hilarious performance, but few notice a young Cuba Gooding Jr. as an extra. He's the silent guy getting a haircut in the barbershop scene, no lines, but his reactions steal the moment. Before Magic Mike, Channing Tatum was just another face in the crowd. He appeared as an extra in War of the Worlds during the church collapse scene, and also showed up in Ricky Martin's She Bangs music video, shirtless of course, playing a bartender and dancer. Jeff Goldblum made his film debut with a single line in Woody Allen's Annie Hall saying,
"Yeah, I forgot my mantra."
Credited only as party guest, it was a small but memorable start for the future Jurassic Park star. 20-year-old John Krasinski made his uncredited film debut in David Mamet's State and Maine, playing a background extra, listed simply as man carrying golf clubs. In Kindergarten Cop, Angela Bassett shows up in a brief early scene as a flight attendant, offering breakfast to Schwarzenegger's character.
Breakfast, sir? Ma'am?
Please.
No.
With just 2 lines and about 10 seconds of screen time, it's easy to miss. But yes, that's the future Oscar nominee serving coffee and Coach. In 1999, Pedro Pascal played a college student in Buffy the Vampire Slayer who gets turned into a vampire. He later said the small role meant the world to him. It even helped keep him from being homeless at the time. Before playing Seth Cohen on the hit show The O.C., Adam Brody was an extra in the sequel American Pie 2. He was merely credited as high school guy for his work in one scene in the film.
My mom's a saint! Don't choke some dick!
Sofia Coppola is best known for playing Michael Corleone's daughter in The Godfather Part 3, but her connection to the saga started much earlier.
No.
Obey me on this, Mary.
No, Dad.
As a baby, she appeared in the iconic baptism scene of the first film. 2 years later, she showed up again in The Godfather Part 2 as a young immigrant child. In The Last Supper, a 14-year-old Elizabeth Moss technically appears, but only as a face on a missing person poster. She plays Jenny Tyler, a girl who never shows up in person, yet is still credited in the film. In Annie Hall, Sigourney Weaver made her film debut with a barely noticeable appearance in the final scene, standing beside Woody Allen. Though easy to miss, Weaver said the role meant so much, and just 2 years later, she became a sci-fi icon in Alien. In The Wizard, best known for promoting the Nintendo Power Glove in Super Mario Bros. 3, a 13-year-old Tobey Maguire made his film debut. Sporting a mullet and a pink shirt, he appears briefly as one of Lucas's goons during the Video Armageddon tournament. Though the role is silent and easy to miss, Maguire's familiar face stands out if you know to look for it. In Mac and Me, 18-year-old Jennifer Aniston made her uncredited film debut. You can briefly spot her sitting on a curb during the infamous McDonald's dance scene. It's just her profile, and unless you knew to look for her, you'd probably never notice. Heath Ledger's first on-screen role was as an uncredited extra in the Australian film Clowning Around, where he played an orphan clown at just 13 years old. No one could have guessed that the kid in clown makeup would one day become the Joker in the Dark Knight trilogy.
Why so serious?
Before starring in Transformers, Megan Fox made her film debut in Michael Bay's Bad Boys 2. She was just 15 when she was cast as a stripper, a brief cameo that marked the start of her Hollywood career. Before becoming Killmonger in the MCU, Michael B. Jordan appeared as an extra in The Sopranos, where he and 2 other boys bully young Tony for throwing a wrapper on the ground.
Leave me alone! Come back, kid! You gotta pick it up!
You might not know this, but Charlize Theron got her start as an extra in Children of the Corn 3. She appears in several scenes and even meets a bizarre end, killed by a demonic tentacle in a very unfortunate spot. Not the most glamorous debut, but it was her first step towards stardom.